What's up everyone, it's RCUJ and welcome to Daily Dose, a show where we talk about the hottest topics in K-pop. But today, we're going to the award shows. So apparently Brian Puspos is fed up with iKon. Listen up. On November 17th, choreographer Brian Puspos took to Twitter to express his discontent with YG and its new group, iKon. Basically, he tweeted a clip from episode 8 of iKon's reality show Mixed Match where they had used his choreography. Brian basically said that rather than just using his choreography, YG should hire choreographers and stop cutting corners. Now, of course, iKon fans came back with receipts and basically told Brian that he should just relax because they had credited him in the episode and on YouTube. But Brian wasn't done. He basically clapped back saying that it doesn't matter that they just credited him because that's said enough, and he could have stopped there, but sorry, this is not funny. But instead he continued on and said that this is probably why iKon lost to Winner, because they couldn't get his moves right. For those of you who don't know, before iKon was iKon, they were on a show with the current members of Winner called Who Is Next Win, which decided what YG trainees would debut as Winner, and the boys of iKon lost. So he was slaying them. Now, that was kind of mean, Brian, but I just thought it was funny because this means he watched the show. To know they had lost, he had to have watched it. Now, this is where things get a little confusing because Brian, he basically deletes these tweets and replaces it with a tweet that says, "Missed you guys, killed it proud." Now shifting support towards iKon. But what's confusing people the most about this outlash is back in October, he actually tweeted a video of iKon using his choreography, but that time around he said he thought it was cool that his choreography was used in K-pop. So everyone's wondering, what's with the change of heart, Brian? Now, a lot of people are saying that he's just bringing up all this controversy now because he wants attention. However, I'm gonna have to kind of side with Brian this one. Yes, it was messy how he used Twitter to call them out. However, I feel like that was probably the only way he could gain attention to the issue. Now, first I want to address the fact that at first he called out iKon and then he went back on it. That was most likely because harassment from fans. Y'all know that K-pop fans can be pretty crazy, so he probably just wanted it all to stop, so he just let the situation die to stop all the controversy. However, I can understand his change of heart between when he tweeted in October versus when he's tweeting now. I mean, you have to realize that, like Brian, his job is choreography, so he makes money off of choreographing. Like the first time he saw iKon use his moves, he probably was just like, "Oh my god, cool, you guys are using my moves, that's awesome, exposure." But the second time around, he was like, "Okay, well, if you're gonna use my moves, why don't you just hire me? Like, where's the money at though?" I mean, it makes sense. He's a choreographer. That's how he makes his money. But YG and iKon are using his product for free. It's like if somebody were to go to an ice cream shop and instead of actually ever buying something, they just take samples. Yes, the samples are free, but isn't it kind of messed up that once in a while you don't just actually pay for something? And I feel like what is probably worse for him is that he's actually good friends with Ian Eastwood. If you guys don't know, Ian Eastwood actually provided the choreography for Taemin's debut solo, Danger. So he's probably thinking back like, how's my friend getting these K-pop checks, but I'm not. Now, for iKon fans who think they're being attacked and targeted, they're not. I mean, unfortunately, plagiarism with choreography is not new to K-pop. There has been controversies with groups like After School and A-Pink in the past. And it's really, really hard because for choreographers, it must suck because you need to put your stuff on YouTube and things like that to get your name out there. But it's easy to just take your stuff without crediting or compensating you in any way. Now, iKon did credit, but they didn't compensate him in any way. But after a while, it must just get tiring as a choreographer where everyone's using your stuff but nobody wants to pay you for it. And you know, trying to sue and things like that for choreography rights is probably really hard and messy and stressful. So all you can really do is just hope that somebody might decide to pay you instead of just take your stuff. The only real reason I think it's really messy is that YG has the money to pay Brian Puspos for him to choreograph their stuff. So I can see why Brian's mad and it kind of comes off as cheap that they choose just to take his stuff. I'm just saying the least YG can do is throw him a bone and, you know, pay him for a couple dances. Moving on to the Melon Music Awards. The Melon Music Awards took place this month, and although I already wrote about it a little on my blog, I just wanted to go over some of the highlights. So most music award shows have 3 big awards: the artist of the year, the album of the year, and the song of the year. So this year, the artist of the year went to IU, and it was so weird because when I was trying to, guess and think who was gonna win it, I thought Girls' Day, they had a good year, A-Pink, and IU was just totally off my radar, but it makes so much sense she won. Now, keeping in mind people who had really good years in terms of music, I thought Girls' Day, they're gaining popularity, and Something was a big hit this year. A-Pink, Mr. Chu is pretty popular, and A-Pink is just really popular in general. Beast could have gotten it because they had a pretty good year music-wise. But I think IU is perfect because not only, did she quietly slay throughout the year, but the thing is about IU, she's really established in the fact that she's no longer just a trend. Like, you can tell IU is going to be around for a long time. And this year, her year was pretty good. So album of the year went to g.o.d. And honestly, I feel like album of the year is probably the hardest one to win because for your whole album to be good, that's really hard. I mean, it's one thing to have like a trend single, but for people to like your whole entire album and buy it, you really have to work hard on it. And I really think that g.o.d's album was really, really good. If not them, I would have given it to my baby's iKon musician. I freaking loved their album, but g.o.d, they deserved it. So song of the year. Now this was the biggest toss up for me because for me it was between 3 songs. Something by Girls' Day, some by Soyu and Jungkook, and then Taeyong, Eyes, Nose, Lips, Head, Shoulders, Knees, and Toes, and he's the one who won. Even though he won, he deserved to win it, I'm still like, whoa, it really could have gone any way. And I really like it when you have years where there's so much good music and releases that you really don't know who's gonna win. Now, some people are surprised, but honestly, Taeyong's song was really popular and had a lot of longevity on the charts. And as much as Taeyong slays, I always feel like he's honestly kind of shadowed by G-Dragon, so I was just glad that he got to shine this year. So the Newcomer Award went to Winner. Now, honestly, Winner, I can't say they didn't deserve it. I mean, they had monster rookies. They had, a popular album. They got All Kills. They had a really popular song. They just had super impressive releases this year. However, I also think iKon musician should have won it because I honestly think they also had a really, really good year and they were a really strong debut. I mean, it would have been overkill for 2 YG artists to win it. However, they have given it to 2 people in the past. So I'm just confused as to why it couldn't have just been Winner and the iKon musician because I really think the iKon musician deserved a Newcomer Award. Hopefully, there's more award shows so they'll win something in the later award shows, but I honestly think they at least deserve 1 Newcomer Award this year. And capping it off, the NBC Music Star Award was given to Ladies Code, which I thought was really beautiful and special. If you guys don't know, Ladies Code had a tragedy this year where 2 of the members actually passed away. So I thought this was a perfect way to, lift the spirits of the remaining members, their fans, and their families, and that was really nice. So last but not least, speaking of end of the year award shows, where there's music, there has to be drama. So a lot of people are wondering who is going to get the Day song this year. Basically, that's the highest acting award. It just means you just really had like a killer performance this year and basically like best actor or actress. So the top 3 contenders on everyone's list are Jo Sung, who starred in That's Okay, It's Love, and of course the 2 main actors from My Love from the Stars, Kim Soo Hyun and Jung Ji Hyun. Now, personally, I actually watched both of the series and I have to say, like, it's really hard because they all really did a good job, but for me, if I had to narrow down to 2, it would be between Jo Sung and Jung Ji Hyun because her character in My Love from the Stars was just so awesome and she was just so cool and sassy and like silly and quirky, and like sometimes I hated her, sometimes I loved her. She just showed like a really wide range of emotion. And then Jo Sung, you really have to watch it. In the show, he plays somebody who has a mental disorder, and it's just like his scenes, like it gets really, really deep, and like I cried like multiple times in that drama. But if I had to decide, I would give it to Jo Sung because, like I said, just the range of what he had to play and the difficulty of his character, it was like a really difficult role, and he really pulled it off, and he touched my heart. And honestly, I think anyone who has, because I know most of the people have watched My Love Who Came From the Stars, but if you haven't watched It's Love, That's Okay, It's Love, you should go watch it right now. But of course, that's my opinion. Who do you think deserves the top prize for acting? Which dramas did you enjoy this year? Which actors, which actresses? And if you have any opinions on anything I talked about today, make sure to tell me in the comment section. See you guys next time.